Hi there, folks. So in this video, we will be doing some exploratory data analysis for the coronavirus outbreak in the United States. So basically, the data is retrieved from GitHub, Johns Hopkins University, Washington School of Engineering, Center for System Science and Engineering, right? So I have cloned this repository already, right? So you can have it here in the file, downloads. I have this file. We have the reports in PDF and also the reports of the World Health Organization in time series in CSV file. Also, we have some archived data. And then we have the Johns Hopkins University CSV data, right? This one. So I want to copy paste this one. I have created a new file called COVID-19 analysis. Let me paste this file here. Let me also change this name to data so I can access it easily. And then here I have this empty Jupyter Notebook file. Right, so here. So first thing, let's import the modules, the necessary modules. So we will be importing import OS, import Pandas as PD, import GeoPandas as GPD, import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, and then import Seaborn as SNS, I guess, and then yeah, from shapely.geometry import point. Right. So here, let's run this cell. Shapely.geo. Great. So now let's import our data as single data frame. Right. So let's create files. So we want to access these files here in this data, right? There are multiple CSV. How many files we have? We have 49 items. Let's create files, start a list comprehension, files for files in OS list there. Let's pass our path. Let's create here path. Our path is dot data, right? So let's paste his path and let's run a for loop for file in files print file. So you can see here we have the same, we have imported all these files. Here you can see here that we have readme file. We can delete this file by writing if not files starts with readme, right? So you can see here we no longer have the file. Great. So now let's create our data frame called df pd.data frame, in which we are storing all the necessary information in each given file. Right. So to do this, we create read. We are reading the CSV files, read.csv, and then we are selecting the path, right? And then we are giving it another backslash so we can access the directory, right? And then we are reading each file, right? So this is file. So let's write here file. Now we have written the file. Now we will be joining them together, right? So df is equal append read, right? Great. So let us print the head of our data frame. No, it is not working. So yeah, let's create df equal df append file. Why it is not working? Cannot concatenate an object of the last year. Only series and data frame objects are valid. We have oh yeah. So this is the problem. So here it is not file because the file is not read. So we actually have to paste the reading file, right? So now we have all this data. Let's see df.shape, right? So we have 2,964 rows and 18 columns. Let's see df.info just to have a glimpse on the type of the columns in this data. So we have object, floats, integer, floats, great. Yeah, we basically have province, states, last update, latitude, longitude, confirmed, deaths recovered, active, FAPS, incidence rate, people tested, people hospitalized, mortality rate, and then you have ISO3 for the country. Great. So now the first thing to do is change the time to using pd.to date time, right? So this is the first thing we have to do. So the time is last update. You can see it actually here. So we have last update is here. Let's do equal to pd to datetime df and then last update. So time last update here, you can see it here, and it has type of an object. So we want it to be a time, right? So it has been done. Let's see info again. And as you can see here, last update, it is now a date time, right? After it was an object. So we can work with this later. So this is the first basically things we can do. Also for plotting on the world map, we have to use Geo data frame, right? We have to turn our EF into Geo data frame. And to do so, we create df is equal GPD, because we are using the GeoPandas module, we have imported as a GPD, right? So geodata frame df geometry, right? GPD. We can actually so first of all, okay, let me create the points using a list comprehension, right? So point x, y for x, y in zip df longitude and then df latitude, right? Great, so we have done this. So basically what we have done is we have changed this into a geometry, the longitude and the latitude into a geometry data frame. So to pass it into the data frame, we will be using df, it's equal gdp, geodata frame, right, df, and then geometry, it's equal point. Right. Oh yeah, here we have to do dot. Why it's not a GPD? It's not GDP. It's a GPD. Great. So let's now inspect our data. Yeah, great. So the second thing is to see the type of our data, which is GeoPandas data frame, right? And this is actually what we wanted, right? So till now we have done some basic data restructuration. Now let us see if the hypothesis of whenever we do more tests, we will having more deaths, right? So we are here. We are trying to test the correlation between tests and deaths. So to do so, we have already imported Seaborn as an SNS. We can simply write SNS dot lmplot, which is the lmplot state for linear model. So to plot the linear model, we are choosing between tests. So it's people tested, right? We are taking this column, and also we are taking the deaths, and the data is equal our data frame df. Let's run this, right? Let me just create CNS style, use Seaborn white grid. Style use, yeah. So it's use style, maybe. Use style SNS. Why the hell is not working? SNS style use. Okay, who cares? Let's just Google this. Controlling the figure aesthetics. So let's go here. Where is it? Yeah, SNS set style. Yeah, it's set style. White grid. Great. So as you can see here in this plot, we are actually seeing that there is a positive relationship with people tested and the deaths, right? So in other terms, whenever the people are tested, it will be a higher rate of deaths, and the other hypothesis is with the confirmed cases, right? Confirmed cases, right? So as you can see here, with it's also the base thing, which is that the plot shows that there is a strong relationship between people who are tested and the total confirmed people with the coronavirus outbreak. So now let's plot deaths. We are plotting the deaths. We are plotting also the confirmed cases. We are plotting also people tested, and finally the deaths, the confirmed cases, and recovered, the recovered one. Right, so to do so, let's create data, a variable called status. I'm just writing this, right? So let's group by, we are grouping by what? If we want to know the status, right? We will be grouping by the day, right? We want to know the evolution of the coronavirus outbreak. So let's group by last update, right? And then we create sum. Yeah, I have to write it here, sum, right? Let us print the status head. So basically we have done this. Now what I want to do is only to take, I want to take the confirmed, right? I want to take deaths, right? I want also to take recovered, right? And then also do people tested. Oh yeah, I have to paste it here. Right, so as you can see here, we have the confirmed, the deaths, recovered, and people tested, and per day. Right. Let's just first of all, let's create df, call it day, right? So we are augmenting our data frame, which is it equal pd to date time df last update, and we are date time, and we are taking the day, right? And here then we are taking the day. Great, so now we have the days, and here we have the data grouped and summed per each day. So now what we want to do is to plot this data. So great. So first of all, we want to access the days. We will do days is equal day for day value in df group by right day. Then here we are doing sum. So we have, no, we are not doing the sum. We're just doing this code. Then we are printing the days. So here we have all the days, right? Great. So now let's create for loop to access the data, creating for element in, we call it status. So this data frame is called status. In status, if element is equal to people tested, right? People tested, we are doing plt dot plot. We have taken days, and then we are taking status element, and then we are labeling this element label it equal element. Right, so let's now do plt.show. Let's run the cell. So as you see here, we have plotted only the people who are tested. So as you can see here, we have here a drop at the day or 45, 25. Let me just see which day. plt.xtext text, which is days. Oh yeah, it's 23. Let me just plt rotation it equal vertical. Great. So here in the day 23 we have a dropout in terms of people tested. So let's print the other values. plt legend true. So you can see here that we have the confirmed cases, the deaths, and here we have the recovered people. Right. However, in the day 24 of a given month, we have a higher dropout in terms of confirmed cases, and then the recovered ones, and also the deaths. Right. So why is that? So you have to notice that we have only plotted the confirmed deaths and recovered. We did not plot it till now the people who are tested. Right. So let me just delete this line of code so we can plot all this element. Right. And what you can see here, the people tested, when the people tested drop down in the 23 day, we had also a drop down in terms of confirmed cases and also the deaths. Right. So this plot actually make a value of this first plot, which is that there is a higher correlation between people tested and confirmed cases. So whenever we do more tested for the coronavirus outbreak, we will have in basically more coronavirus confirmed cases and also deaths. Right, so let's just make this plt dot v-lines. We are taking the v-line, the x it equal 23, min it equal 0, and then y max, y max it equal to mp to df, right? People tested, and then we are taking the max of that, people tested, right? So you can see here basically in this plot that in the day 23 we have dropouts in terms of people tested and also in confirmed cases. So now let's see why Donald Trump said ask China. Right, I guess you have seen this video. If you write Donald Trump ask China video, so ask China. So this video
said many times that the US is doing far better than any other country when it comes to testing.
Yes.
Why is this a global competition to you if every day Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world. And maybe that's a question you should ask China. Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer. Yes, behind you, please.
Sir, why are you...
Right, so you can see this video in which Donald Trump said, ask China. So there is something going on with the coronavirus outbreak, right? So now let's try to have the world map, right? So it's GPD, read file, right? Then GPD, we are importing this, so it's GPD, get GDP, datasets dot get file, natural earth, low resolution. Why it's not working? GeoPandas and not attributes data. It's dataset. Get file. Yeah. Yeah, it's not get file, it's get path, I guess. Yeah, great. So the world, let's just see the world. Here we have population, continent, name, ISO A3, GDP, and then we have the geometry. So we want to take Antarctica. So GDP, so the world is equal world, right? Then we have continent, it's equal Antarctica. Antarctica, I guess it. Okay, let me just see this in Google. Yeah, Antarctica, great. So let's plot the world, right? So we have downloaded our data. Now we are plotting the world map with death rates to see to explore why Donald Trump had said ask China. Right, so fig x is equal plt subplot fig size is equal to 20, 10, right? Now we are trying to plot in the world plot. We are plotting the world. Yeah, we should do x is equal x. Oh yeah, not Antarctica. Let's run this code again. So we have deleted Antarctica. Great. So now I want to give the map light gray color, right? So color is equal light gray. Great. Then I want to line width is equal 0.5. Great. Color edge is equal white. Edge color. It's not dark edge, it's edge color. It's equal white. Great. So now we have plotted the map, the world map. Let's just delete this latitude and longitude lines. Axis off. Great. So we do so. So here we have plotted the world map. So now we want to plot overlap the death rates. Right, so df dot plot column, we are selecting the death rate. How it is called actually? mortality rate, right? Mortality rate, then AX equal AX great. So now here we have the mortality rate plotted on the world map. So let's just here change the marker size, it equal df mortality rate, right, and then multiply by 70, let's say. No, maybe just like 50. No, again, maybe just like 30 or something. I will just try 25. Great. So let's change the color map to hot. Right, so you can see here our plot. So let's plt.show, and then let's do plt.title corona COVID-19 outbreak exploratory data analysis in the USA and China, right? So let's change here to font weight, it's equal bold. It's equal bold, great. So now let's do plt.legend. Not here, but here, legend is equal true. Right, so you can see here the mortality rate. So what can you see from this plot? Right, so this is actually the hard question. Is dot x axis off. Right, so what can you see from this plot? So this is why actually Donald Trump has said you have to ask China, because in the United States of America, the death rates is much higher than the origin of the coronavirus outbreak, which is in China, in Wuhan. This is Wuhan. It has death rates almost equal to California and Texas maybe. However, if you go to see here like New York, Denver, they have really higher death rates. Let's change this to 10 so we can actually see in much more details. Right, so this is why actually Donald Trump, because you have to know that when there is a health issue in a given country, it's supposed to be worse than the host country. If the United States, Italy, France, they are host countries, right? So it's supposed to have less death mortality rates. However, today we are seeing that in Wuhan, in China, in which the coronavirus originate is less harmful than in the United States. And this is why Donald Trump is actually told the journalist to ask China, because this is like extremely weird stuff is happening with this virus, right? In the next video, we will be doing a fully exploratory data analysis for the coronavirus, in which we are using a time series data. So basically here in this video, we have showed how to do basically the data into your Jupyter notebook, and then how to do basic plots using matplotlib and also a for loop to access a given data frame. And then we have used GeoPandas to plot some insights on the global map. See you in the next video. Thank you.